Hello viewers, welcome back to my educational channel Literaria Milicia. I am Dr. Masum Islam, going to give a lecture upon a poem based on BA English Compulsory Syllabus Major Minor under NEP 2020 and the revised NEP 2023-24 under NBU. The poem is none other than the famous poem Still I Rise by American poet Maya Angelou. So this lecture is going to be a wonderful one. Be all through with me and gain wonderful knowledges about the poem and the poet herself. I have divided the whole lecture into three parts. First part is the introduction of the poet, second is the background of the poem, and the third one is the poem itself. And the poem also divided into two parts: the analytical questions and answer parts from the poets, and the poet's own realization, the poet's longing for rootedness, and the poet's making identity assertion. All right. The first part is of course the introductory part about the poet herself. The poet Maya Angelou is a famous American poet, as you all know, and she was born on 4th April 1928 and she died on 28th of May 2014. She was all through her life becomes an example to others how to live a life with dignity, with one's own identity, and with gracefulness, of course. Here, Maya Angelou is a poet, a memorist. Memorist is a part of a writer generally recalls a memory of our life. He or she tries to give some important information about his or her that particular memory. This is the memorist. So she's been a memorist all through, and autobiographer, and also a poet. So she is a versatile writer all through. Not only this, she is an actress, a playwright, a TV show host, performer, dancer. You will know about her dancing quality, and did all the things which she considers, which she deems fit for her identity, for her being. All right. So Maya Angelou is known and gained acclamation, accolades from the very first autobiographical essay that is published in 1969. The title of the autobiographical essay is I Know Why the Caged Bird Sing. You have heard about it. It is very important, text, and most of the university and colleges prescribed the text in their syllabus. So if you have ample time, leisure time, you must read the a book, why the caged I know why the caged bird sing. So from this point of time, she has been, renowned. She overnight she became very famous because the text is all about her personal experience, her personal confrontation with, with hostile situation, being a being a marginalized, being a black woman, you know, and she uh, um, describes in the text about her uh, about her uh, situation up to the age of 17. This text is all about up to the up to the date of 1944. So she was born in 1928, and up to 1920 1944, all the you know informations, all the clues have been written in the text. What had been happened with her, you know socially, culturally, racially, and and so on, into the second part of the lecture, that is background of the poem. The background of the poem is, as I have mentioned already, is all about her her identity, her her dignity, uh, being as a black woman, and her quality and a rootedness that uh, had been denied, or that had been to some extent defied by the then by the then majority of peoples in America. And the majority of people here in the poem is considered as you, is taken as you in the poem. uh, the poet here describe or written the poem uh, as a first person narrative, and here she mentioned uh, about about certain person uh, mentioned as you. So you is the is a particular person or a community that is that has been uh, in reign or in power, and that and the community or the particular person tends to oppressed uh, or suppress the speaker, or the community of the speakers or root. So here in the poem, the speaker repeatedly tries to assert his identity, and his sorry, her identity and her um, gravity. you know all the things are distinctly written in the poem. And when you go through the poem line by line, you will understand how the poet uh, you know uh, internally inflicted several times uh, by the foreign by the foreign inflictions and oppressions. So let's start the poem, because it is the third part. The poem still arise. The poem has two parts. The first part is all about the ironical questions, the satirical questions and answers of the poet herself. She you know um, she puts for the questions, and she herself gives the proper answers of it to the you person. And the second part is all about her, identity, her rootedness, and her history, her story, her traditions, and all that. So let's begin the point. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trade me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I will rise. So, in this quatrain, the poet here tries to convey the message about her iron determination and about her uh, certainty uh, to be in to be in and to face the challenges of life, because you the person, you if the person, if the oppressor, you as we can take as the, the majority of people, and the oppression, the powerful one. And the poet questions that if mm, the so-called oppressor has the ability to change history, to distort history, to wrap up the history, uh, and with lies, with distorted, stories. But and even the oppressor may trade, may, run over upon her body and crush her body into dust. But the point asserts that from the very dirt she will rise, and she will show the oppressor about her survival technique. So the first, four lines is all about her iron determination and her certainty about her own being. Okay, make note of the, of the word dust. Dust, it's a biblical allusion, because, in Bible it is written that human being has been for human being has been formed through dust, and will be returning again into dust, so from the ashes of, human beings, like the word phoenix, from the ashes she will again rise and stand up, stand up with dignity. Does my sussiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Here the poet addresses again the oppressor, that why are you become so miserable? Why are you looking so miserable? As because my sassiness, that is my sauciness, my, my sexual appeal, or my boldness, you can say my boldness upset you, beset you. My boldness or my haughtiness, to some extent, uh, uh, to some extent upset the oppressor, and the oppressor becomes so miserable. Because as if, uh, because I walk like I have got oil wells pumping in my living room, as if the poet has, has got an oil wells, the oil wells owner are big men, no doubt. And oil, if one have oil well, then he or she become so wealthy. So the poet here compares her, her being as a as an owner of an oil well, you know company. So she asserts that my haughtiness and my sussiness, my boldness, is like that. You think, the oppressor think, that it is like that an oil well uh, I have in my possessions, and it is right in my living room. I pumped up the oil, and sell in the open market and become so wealthy. This is why the oppressor becomes so miserable. Just like moons and like suns, with the certainty of tides, just like hopes springing high, still I will rise. Just like moon and the suns with the certainty of tides, you know, as like moons and the suns, it is eternal truth that the moons will rise and the suns will rise, suns will set, the moons will set, and it is also the eternal truth that with the certainty of tides, that tides will come up and come down according to the uh, magnetic power of earth, so the point here wants to say that like moons rise, like suns rise, like the risings of the tide, just like hopes springing high, just like them, the poet's hope is also high, is also rising, and from that home she promised to rise again. Did you know? Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. So here, did you want to see me broken? The poet again questions um, to the oppressor that did you want to see me broken? Actually, the oppressor actually wants to see her broken. Actually, the oppressor wants to see her bow down, wants to see her submissive. But the poet will not, because the poet lives with her dignity, with her gracefulness. So here the poet asserts that I will not, that she will not break down, and she will not bow down her head, she will not lower her eyes to the oppressor, and her shoulders will not be falling down like teardrops, because she has promised, she has make she has made commitment to rise, and is rising she is rising, weakened by my soulful cries. And she just compared here that like the like the internal feelings uh, of the poet's personal life, of the poet's personal memories that has been associated with her ancestors, the slavery system of the uh, of the earlier age in in America. The point wants to assert that those days have been gone. Now, next generation from the same slaves, from the same slavery peoples will rise like a dignified, like a prosperous people, like any other common people. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard? Cause I laugh like I have got gold mines digging in my own backyard? Does my haughtiness offend you? The point again, through the questions that does my haughtiness offend you? My haughtiness, my boldness, or my pride about my past, about my root, to some extent uh, make you offend? Do you feel offended about my being proud about my ancestors? Don't you take it awful hard, and you don't, and you uh, do not want to believe this, because do not want to believe this because the same slavery people, the same people uh, whose origin is from slave system, and the slave people are now rising their head, cause I laugh like I have gold mines digging in my own backyard, and it is as though I have gold mines in my in my backyard, in 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 the back front of my house, and I tend to um, tend to mine the gold and sell out the open market and become wealthy. So the fourth, fifth, fifth quatrain is almost like the second, like the second second stanza. The second stanza and the fifth stanza are also are alike. You can say are almost similar. So next, you may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air I will rise. So here the point, again, through the questions, and she herself answering the questions, that if you know situation comes like that, you you have the power to suit me, you have ample uh, ample options to kill me and to hate me, but through the words, through the eyes, through the hatefulness, but above all, you know uh, defying all the things, defying all the negativities, I will rise like air, like air. The air, with all the vapors become heavy, and still the air rise up to the sky and brings rain. So this is somewhat similar like that, that if the oppressor uh, uh, repeatedly inflict the point through his or their words, through their eyes, through their hatefulness, but the point, defying all the things, all the odds, will rise, will held will hold her heads high. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I have got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? So this is also, this is somewhat, clue to vulgarity, you can say, but it is part of the poem, that does my sexiness upset you? My sexiness, my hottiness, what I become as a full-blown woman, you know does it upset you that I become, I looks like a sexy woman, and I look so because we, I was supposed to be a slave. I was supposed to be I'm supposed to be a slave. I'm supposed to be a prostitute. But no, I rather I um, I polished myself, and made myself what I am looking like, sexy, that is. And does it come as a surprise? And it may surprise the oppressor that a slave origin girl, how she uh, you know uh, the audacity, how she has the audacity to look like a sexy woman, like a modern woman. So it surprised him, or the oppressors, that it dance like I have got diamonds. Even with this sexiness, with this look, the point even dances, even even show their dancing quality, and as if the dancing quality looks like, as if she has some diamonds between the meeting point of her thighs. It is, you can say, it is the indication of her sexuality, of her sexual identity. Of course, the she is a woman, and her thighs are so wonderful, that people would think that there is some hidden diamond in between her thighs. Out of the hearts of history's same I rise, up from a path that's rooted in pain I rise. So the point here, this is the second part of the poem. This is the second part of the poem, and in this part, the poet tries to assert her identity, and tries to um, asserts root, her rootedness and her dignity. Out of the hearts of history same I rise. Out of the hearts of history same, it is the same, it is the same of history, that the slavery system uh, 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 in some day, uh, was there. And the point called the slavery system as hearts. Out of the hearts of history same I rise. From this slavery system, I came from a slave origin father, a slave origin family. So I rise from this family, and I rise, I rise equal to the oppressors. Up from a past that is rooted in pain, I rise. And the past of the slavery people was not very pleasurable. It was very painful, and from the painful and from the inflictions and from the hostility that they had to face, and from this point of time, from this point of period, their successors, their next generations, um, come up and be equal try to be equal with the majority of people, with the with the oppressors. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I wear in the tide, leaving behind nights of terror and fear. I rise. I'm a black ocean. The point here, now, uh, you know uh, uh, you know it, disclose her identity, and and somewhat uh, feel proud of her identity, that she term it as a black ocean. The black color of her skin is like a black ocean, vast, very vast, and very vast and wavy, rising and swelling, rising and taking space, more space, like the black people, from the slave system, and up to the age, they are transforming themselves from from lower to upper, from the marginalized to the mainstream. So this is the message that the poet wants to convey here, that like ocean, and like the ocean's quality, like the ocean's vastness, I bear in the tide, I also carry the ocean's vastness in me, leaving behind nights of terror, and leaving all the things, all the negativities behind, all the terror and all the fear behind. And from these um, from this point, she tried to rise, and she is rising into a daybreak. I rise into a daybreak that's wondrously clear. I rise. The poet here again asserts that she rise from, like a uh, like a daybreak, from night, from the black night to the a dazzling morning, So that's wondrously clear I rise, and that is very clear. It is somewhat uh, relative with the poets, with the poets community's life, that they once were living in dark ages, in sense of majority people, of the oppressors, and now they transforming themselves, and they overcome the period, and become what now they are, bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. And see rise with the memory, with the dignity, with the gracefulness, with the traditions, with the rootedness that their ancestors or gave the poet. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. The last lines are so significant, that the poet wants to convey that she became the